Morning again, Green Spring. And today we have in our studio here Greg Zirnhelt, and he's a financial analyst in our finance department. We're going to be updating some things about the finance, and I think you'll find it very interesting and probably very informative because, you know, as time goes along, we forget some of the things that we may have been told earlier. So, Greg, thank you very much for coming aboard.
You're welcome.
And so what do we have? What are we going to talk about today?
Well, the first thing that I'd like to talk about is we have our move-out forum today at noon, and that's in the Hunter Crossing building. And we do have spots available, so if people would still like to attend, if they haven't signed up yet, it's very informative. It kind of walks you through the move-out process. It's actually good for family members, so they know what will take place when the resident passes away.
So you welcome both the resident and a family member.
Yes, definitely. It's probably almost more beneficial for family members because they'll be the one here taking care of the issues after their loved one passes away.
Now, how often do you have these move-out forums?
We usually try to have it quarterly.
Quarterly?
So we have it,
okay, good.
Probably 3 or 4 times a year.
And it's whether you decide to move out somewhere else or if you go out the other way.
Correct, yes.
So that's why it's so important for the family member.
Yeah, definitely for the family members, because if they will be the ones taking care of everything for their loved one.
So you'll cover all of the things that they have to do if you move out of your apartment.
Yep, we'll have different departments there to speak on just different things, how they're involved in the process.
And moving over to Garden Ridge is an example of just moving out of your apartment.
Yeah, we actually have a separate forum for transitioning to Garden Ridge.
Oh,
so this one more focuses on moving out or you know, when someone passes away.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got?
And one thing we would just like to point out is that it's beneficial for everyone to check the documents that they have available in the finance office. So if people have any updates to wills or trusts, power of attorneys, anything involving legal documentation, if you've made any updates, please bring the copies of those to us so we can keep them in their file.
So you keep all of our files. You keep the documents that we signed when we came in here.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we keep the contract, we keep the refund to entrance deposit form, and then any legal documents that are provided to us by the resident.
Well, I've been here 10 years and I've never updated my files. Now, is there, why should I come in and check? Because I don't think I've changed anything.
Yeah, well, if you haven't changed anything, then that's fine, but a lot of people aren't sure what they've actually given us.
Yeah.
So like for you, for instance, if you don't recall any documents that you provided to us, if you have a will or a trust that you have, it's a good idea just to make sure that we do have that on file.
Yeah. You know, I know I gave it to you.
Yeah.
All right. What else we have?
Just one thing, the statements, the monthly statements will be coming out. They always come out on the 6th business day. So we'll get them, I think, around Thursday. They should be into the mail rooms on Friday.
So all of our statements come into you from corporate, is that?
Yeah, we get, there's a company that prints them and sends them to us.
Okay.
We kind of have to sort them and then we provide them to each mail room depending on which building.
Who prepares the bill?
Well, the bills are generated by our system.
Okay.
We have an accounting system that keeps track of all
That's for Green Spring?
For Green Spring Erickson, same, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, yes, so for all of Erickson.
I used the term corporate before.
Yep.
Is it corporate or is it just Green Spring?
Well, the statements are generated specifically for Green Spring, but the same company generates them for all of Erickson.
For all of Erickson?
Yep.
Okay, okay. So it really is sort of an Erickson over.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the same for all of Erickson. And then another thing that we would, it'd be a good idea for to check is the apartment access form. And that allows people when the resident passes away for them to gain immediate access if a family member is on this form.
Oh.
Otherwise, the only way that they would be able to gain immediate access if there was a trust and they were a trustee.
Okay.
And the first point of contact is always our security department, so to gain access. So they would check the file to see if this form is on hand. So we have an access form which if the resident assigns who wants to gain access, and then it needs to be signed by 2 witnesses who are not employees.
So my daughter has a key to my apartment. Why can't she just come in?
Well, once someone passes away, then security goes in and puts a lock on that door so that they can no longer gain access
What do you
until
mean puts a lock on it?
they put a separate lock on the door, which anyone that has a key cannot gain access, and this is to protect the resident's property.
Yes.
So no one can gain access until we've identified who has the right to gain access.
Well, that sounds reasonable, but this could take time for a person if they are not on your list, and I suppose I don't have anybody on my list. I don't have a trust or anything, so that means that when I pass away, it's going to take some time for that my daughter or my son to come into the apartment and clean it out.
Yeah, definitely. That is what that form is intended for people that do not have a trust, because they would not be able to gain access unless they go to the Fairfax County court system, and then they would have to be appointed the trustee of the estate, so forth.
So that's very important. We're talking about what, days or weeks?
Yeah, that really depends on Fairfax County. You would have to set an appointment with the court system, and that I can't tell you the exact time it would be to do that.
You don't have any feeling for how long it takes?
I think, from my understanding, is it can be a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, depending on how busy they are.
So it's very important for the residents to take note of this and take some action on it, really.
Now, people are allowed access, but it would be only with security present.
Oh, okay.
So to have access without anyone present, they would need to either have that form or they would need to be a trustee on a trust.
So they could go in with security and take away some valuables?
Yeah, but security would take a list of whatever is taken away. Yeah, so it would be supervised access.
Okay, what else do we have?
We have that. We just want to briefly mention that a lot of people ask about tax letters since the year has ended. And tax letters are due to come out sometime the end of this month. So we'll provide those, make those available to residents when those do come out.
Basically, it says we don't have any tax. We don't have any tax relief from medical.
I mean,
we don't have any.
We kind of have to say we're not tax professionals, so we can't speak on it. But usually for independent living, there's no tax benefits. If there's some kind of medical fees or so forth, that possibly, but we would have to refer you to a tax professional.
Okay. What else do we have here?
Just the final thing, we would like to just mention that our online billing, which started this year, or actually I believe it started in July of this past year now, it just allows people to have access to their statements. They can view their current statements. They can go on and view past statements. So if they need copies of statements, prior statements for the past year, they can go on and get those if they need to provide those for some tax reason or other reasons for taking a loan or so forth. So that's available, and then they can actually set up their automatic bill payment themselves with that.
Do you have any? Do you know how many residents have actually gone to online billing?
I don't have those current numbers with me.
Yeah, no field, no approximations.
I don't recall. I can't recall if it was like 50% in the past, but I don't know what the current numbers are now.
Okay, well.
But it's definitely beneficial. It makes things easier for people. They don't have to worry about mailing a check in or so forth, whether that will get delivered.
Well, online billing.
If they set up the automatic payment.
Yeah, and that's very important to do that.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and they still have time to review the bill. Yeah. Because the statements come out around the 6th business day, and then the automatic payment isn't pulled from the bank until around the 20th of the month. Yeah. So if there's something they see on their statement, if they're on online bill paying, they can actually go in and change the amount of their automatic pay themselves. Yeah. And they can change the amount so that it would be a lower amount if need be.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Greg, for coming aboard today and talking to us about finance, because we might all have known what you've told us, but yet it's so good to be updated and refreshed. Yeah. I've learned something from this conversation too.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.